The smoke detector in the nursery had a dead battery for 11 days before anyone checked. The Rottweiler knew something was wrong before the flames were visible. Everyone had said he was the danger in that house. Everyone had said it wrong. Kezia Oduya had heard the warnings so many times they had become a kind of ambient noise, present, predictable, easy to tune out. The pediatrician at the 2-month well visit had raised his eyebrows when she mentioned the dog. Her mother-in-law had sent 3 separate articles about Rottweiler incidents in the first 6 weeks home. The neighbor 3 doors down had told her husband Marcus, with the frankness of someone who believed they were being helpful, that he should think carefully about what kind of environment he wanted his son growing up in. The son was named Eli. He was 4 months old. He laughed at the dog. His whole body went into it. Feet kicking, arms reaching, the specific full-body joy that babies produce before they have the language to describe delight. Every morning, when Titan came around the corner of the sofa, Eli's face broke open. Titan was a 7-year-old Rottweiler, 112 pounds, black and tan, with the calm authority of an animal who had long since resolved every question about its own disposition. He had been with Kezia since she was 24. He had moved with her twice, sat with her through a breakup that took 18 months to fully leave, attended the evening she met Marcus at a mutual friend's birthday, and adjusted to every change in his household with the equanimity of something that understood, on a cellular level, that its job was to be present and steady. He was that, in this house, for 4 months, with a baby in it. Until the Tuesday night in February. Marcus worked late on Tuesdays. Kezia put Eli down at 7:30, the usual routine, bottle, bath, the specific low singing that Eli needed to hear for approximately 3 minutes before his eyes went heavy. She turned on the white noise machine, turned off the nursery light, and pulled the door most of the way closed. Titan was in the hallway. He always slept in the hallway on the nights Marcus was late. She watched a show. She folded laundry. At 9:40, she heard the sound. It was not a bark. It was the sound Titan made in exactly one circumstance. The low, urgent physical vocalization that lived somewhere between a bark and a howl. The sound he produced when something in his environment was wrong in a way that required an immediate response. He had made it twice in 7 years. Once when a stranger had tried to open the back gate while Kezia was in the yard. Once when the gas burner on the stove had been left on without a flame while she was in the shower. She was in the hallway before the thought fully assembled. Titan was at the nursery door, not scratching, pressing. His full body against the wood, that sound coming from him, his eyes going to her face and then back to the door. She opened it. The scent hit before the visual, smoke, faint, the kind that registers in the back of the throat before it becomes visible. The white noise machine on the shelf was plugged into a power strip. The power strip was plugged into an extension cord that ran under the baseboard, and along the inside edge of that baseboard, hidden from view by the crib frame, a wire had been compromised by a staple driven through it during the nursery renovation 8 months earlier. It had been working toward failure for months. Tonight it had reached it. A thin coil of smoke was rising from the baseboard behind the crib. Nothing was burning yet. The heat buildup was still internal, inside the wall. The smoke detector on the ceiling, Kezia saw this in the specific awful clarity of the moment, had a green battery light that was not blinking. It had not blinked in 11 days. She had not noticed. She took Eli from the crib and was out of the room in 6 seconds. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. The fire department arrived in 9 minutes. The assessment afterward found that the internal wire failure had reached a heat state that, within an estimated 15 to 20 minutes, would have produced visible combustion in the wall cavity. A nursery fire at night, with a sleeping infant, and a non-functional smoke detector. The firefighter who wrote the report, a woman named Stephanie Dorado, 17 years on the job, told Marcus in the driveway, "You want to thank your dog. He beat your alarm by at least 12 minutes. The pediatrician who had raised his eyebrows in October sent a card. Marcus's mother-in-law sent nothing, but she came over on the following Saturday with a casserole and sat in the kitchen for 2 hours while Titan slept on the floor at her feet. Has your dog ever done something you couldn't explain until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Dogs detect smoke at concentrations far below human olfactory threshold. The compounds in early-stage electrical burning, Benzene, styrene, formaldehyde are present in the air long before the visible phase. Titan had been smelling the slow deterioration of that wire for an unknown period before Tuesday. What changed on Tuesday night was that the concentration crossed the threshold of his alarm response. He did not analyze. He responded. He did the thing his nature had prepared him to do in exactly this circumstance, even though no one in that house had trained him for it, had asked him to do it, or believed that an animal with his reputation was capable of it. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Kezia put new batteries in every smoke detector in the house the following morning. She bought a carbon monoxide detector for each floor. She checked the extension cords in every room. She did all the things a person does when they understand, for the first time, how close a quiet, ordinary evening came to ending differently. Then she sat on the kitchen floor with Titan and put her forehead against the side of his broad black head, and he let her the way he had always let her. The next story is about a German shepherd who refused to stop following a toddler in the backyard, and what was coiled under the steps. Eli was in the bouncy seat across the room, kicking his feet, watching the dog the way he always watched the dog, with his whole face open and his arms already reaching.